Talk 6. So I am officially calling this meeting of Beautify Londonderry Committee to order Monday, June 15th, Sunnycrest Conference Room at 6 p.m. Our first order on the agenda, just noting that we do have a full committee, official committee tonight, which is wonderful. And so thank you again to Beth, Karen, who have stepped forward to fulfill positions, which is wonderful. So our first order of business is public comment. And so we have Deb here from the Green Team, and please share your thoughts.
Well, we were at our last meeting, and we're finally moving forward into the second phase of the project. So we've put the pathway in, we've got Corn Row and Sunflower Lane, and then we've got the 2 watering containers that the fire department has said that they would fill for us. So that, having that ability to water has now allowed us to start working on the actual butterfly garden. So Marge is putting us in for a master plan, a master gardener project.
Mm-hmm.
We've got the plants, but it's been way too hot to put baby plants in. They'll just die. So Marge is keeping them alive in pots on her porch, on her deck rather. But we're hoping that you guys might. Hi.
John, good to see you.
Might want to get involved with a little bit with what we're doing, because it is going to be an educational tool for the schools.
Yeah.
And we could use some extra hands. I would say I'm 65, and so I think I'm like one of the youngest people out there digging. And it would be nice if there were more people with more hands to get more things done. So we did put the other pathway in we moved the benches that we got through Trex. We're making a half teepee where we're going to put moonflowers. I don't know if you guys know these things. They only open at dusk. So that people can sit under this thing made of birch trees. Like half of birch trees will be like a teepee, but not. It's rounded.
Oh.
And the bench goes in there.
Yeah.
And you can sit and look at the garden. So we were just looking and seeing, if you guys had any ideas as to how y'all could maybe work with us a little bit on getting things done. Like we did some stuff, we helped you guys down at South School, and when we do know about projects, we will help. We did notice that the town has let I don't know if it's town or the school, but we put in the blueberry bushes. I don't know who's supposed to weed it. It's not us.
For the library?
Yeah, it's totally overgrown, and it has not been mulched or anything, and it has a bunch of daffodils, which is nice, which there again could be a group project to fix that little garden there. They all need to be dug up and separated, and it needs to be, there's a ton of bittersweet over there and knotweed. Yeah.
Lost us bittersweet.
So the blueberry bushes are kind of getting a little suffocated by the overgrowth. So,
Okay.
not that we don't want to do it. Again, I'm just saying
It's a volunteer.
it is a volunteer thing. But now, do they budget in their budget for a landscaper to take care of it? Is that supposed to be paid? Done by a landscaper? I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
So,
Where's the garden at? Where are the blueberry
our
bushes?
garden is in front of Moose Hill Kindergarten.
Okay.
If the Moose Hill's behind me, it's right over here. We have over an acre that Andy Mack and Kyle have all said that we can have and use, and the goal is eventually to build it into a community garden, but we're not there yet. So we put in the meadow to attract pollinators, and then we had the kids participate in Corn Row and Sunflower Alley, little kids, and then we have the actual butterfly garden, which we will be able to get a grant for. So SD Lumber gave us these logs to kind of go like a stepping things, and we put wood chips. We got to put those down still. It's been too hot.
Yeah.
We can put the wood chips down, and then that's the first path, and then we'll put in, section by section, and then we can get the money to put in the plaque that will stay there that will say, okay, this is this flower attracts this butterfly benefits by
Mhm.
doing, and it's just an educational tool. So that's kind of the goal. I just was looking really from feedback from you guys, if you even had an interest, or not. I mean, I know you guys are town, we're a 501c3 nonprofit, so there you go.
So, I'm excited to hear about all of the progress that's being made
So-
there. Yeah, yeah.
And
it
we've
sounds
been
great.
doing a lot of, all winter, we had lectures
Yeah.
that we had over 52 people, pretty much was
Yeah.
the average for every lecture we
Yeah.
had. So it's definitely people wanna know, and we're gonna start
Right.
them up this September
Yeah.
with canning, pruning, pickling, preserving, drying your seeds, garden type
Yeah.
stuff that you want, how to winter your beds,
Yeah.
so that sort of thing.
And so let me ask you, Deb, do you send out information? Because I'm on the mailing list for Green
Yeah,
Team, so
so
I
you-
know we get emails every time that you're in need of volunteers. Is that going to everybody? Have you gotten a large
Yeah,
list now from the?
we get people
Yeah,
sometimes, depending on the project,
Right.
and that's the problem.
yeah,
And especially once we plant those saplings, those little babies there, we're gonna need people to have a watering schedule, and the tanks are there, and that's the nice thing. So
right,
we have a gravity feed, and so you'll fill a bucket, and water all the little baby plants.
Yeah,
But we need to make sure that they're, gonna be able to survive, because we don't wanna blow
Yeah,
all that
right.
money we fundraised for and
Absolutely.
paid for these special plants that get
Yeah.
there, that, are gonna just die,
Yeah.
because nobody's watering.
right.
And it can't just be, the same 6 to 8 people doing it every single day.
So, yeah, and I think that's where, I think we have had problem with that as well, with getting volunteers for helping, except for, the days that we do the cleanups. I will say, John has worked well with the schools, and the schools, a couple of the sports teams, have been really great about stepping in for specific projects.
Because I haven't seen any I'll be very honest with you, I haven't heard about them, I haven't seen any specific projects that y'all are doing. So the only thing I know about is your pickup, and
yeah,
that's it.
so I mean, and
That's
that,
it.
and that's all we've been able to do.
Because I know,
The
like,
South School is a work in progress.
when you guys reached out for help, we
Yeah, yeah.
showed up.
And the South School is in work in progress, and we've ran into the same problem that, we have not yet been able to establish a good volunteer base. And we've had discussions that we don't really feel it's on us to establish the volunteer base for the long term care of the project. And so anything that we do from now on, our group, we have talked about, our group should really be helping fundraise, raising money, and then granting money to others, and having them take care of responsibility.
And money's not our
Um,
problem. We've
right.
got enough money coming in from the projects, the fundraising we do.
Yeah,
That's not our problem. People do donate constantly to us. They like the idea. We wanna do a whole plant a tree in Londonderry kind of thing. But without the bodies, we can't get any of it done, so I've ignored all of it. Even the
Yeah.
project with the bridge, to turn those into pieces of art with the school and put in a meadow there. I mean, they're great ideas. We got approval from the state, we got approval from the school, we had the art, but nobody shows up. The kids don't show up, we just don't, I don't know.
yeah.
Volunteerism is a lost art.
So,
So Deb, is the primary need right now
Just this,
daily watering?
that would be the primary need, right at we're not there yet, cause we haven't planted them, because we're waiting for the break in the heat, cause it's,
Yeah,
I don't want anybody dying, there's no shade there.
yeah.
It's hot.
Yes.
Well,
Yeah.
so I'm involved with the waste oil collection thing behind the fire station. And they had, I think we're down to 4 guys that do it. They put a schedule together and they rotate through. So, we were actually looking for another player or two for that, but, cause we're all getting older, okay. But that might be maybe the best way to attack the watering thing. Just put together, here's the July schedule, and you have 8 or 10 green team people that you have watering, and then you plug us in, show us what's involved, and then plug us in, and we have our days. And then what we do.
We do have a schedule, we just haven't gone live with it because we're not ready to do it. So I don't wanna put it out there prematurely.
Yeah.
I mean, if we're not gonna do it till the fall because of the weather, who knows?
Well, so I'm just saying, I don't know about everybody else, but if you need me to plug in, for a couple of days, come in water, just show me how to do it, and you put me on a schedule, and maybe that stretches you guys out, or take somebody that knows what they're doing and takes them off water and puts them on something that's more relevant to their skills. So I don't have a problem with that.
How many trees are you talking about planting?
Well, that's a major project. I mean, there's this whole movement of turning the world green and pollinator friendly. And as somebody who was Chris and I who actually started Beautify Londonderry. We were the ones who went to the council and pitched the idea to, at the time, was Mark Oswald and Tom Dolan, and they were nice enough on the council to push it forward. And I'd always been involved in it up until it became part of the town. Then I kind of stepped away, because it was always just a independent thing, and then it was a private thing that became independent. It was just volunteer that then became part of the town. And when it became part of the town, I walked away.
Now, where are these trees going to be planted?
Wait, I feel like there's two
There is.
initiatives.
There is.
One is plant a tree,
Yeah.
which they want to get to, that's a future project.
That's a future project.
And then
We're
the
not even there
immediate
yet.
project was small plants that were going to go into.
Correct. I mean, we
Right.
even have nature pocket plans that we've driven. We've looked at the map and looked at, not conservation, but town-owned property that would be good for nature pockets, that, certain animals, which I talked with Marge already, what animals are already there, how do we make that more of a habitat for them, and then how do we introduce that to the schools, where the schools can come and say, see this area, this is where the so-and-so turtle is, this turtle is, that. It becomes a learning tool, and it also enhances the beauty of the town, and people do tours of nature pockets. They go around and they look at them, and they're great, and there are big plans for the future, but I don't see them happening unless people step up. And I'm going to the school myself to see if there's, something out there to just be a little bit more. But the tree thing is, so like in the meridians and stuff, like so like if you were driving down 102, there's property in the front, and you would hit up the mall owner and say, hey, is it okay that we put a couple of really fancy trees here, which you can get for free, and then, overseed it with wildflowers, so that when people are driving down 102, they don't just see this big trash collecting pit, they see beautiful trees, and they see some pollinating, and it's beautiful, and they don't have to mow it, so they don't have to pay someone to mow it, because it just deads itself. So there's positives and negatives to everything.
So beyond watering,
Yeah,
okay, which.
beyond
you're right.
watering,
What is the immediate need?
helping with putting down the wood chips on the path. So basically the truck backing up and just putting it in a wheelbarrow, and people walking with the wheelbarrow, dumping it, spreading it out. That should, if there's a few people there, it shouldn't take a very long period of time. So that's the thing. The second one, like I said, is the watering. The third is the actual digging the holes and planting of the plants. And then the last thing would be for the fall, and that would be fertilizing that whole area. And, we didn't do a plant sale this year, which hurt us because of the jumping worms. We were not gonna infect anybody with jumping worms. And you can't tell if you have, I could dig up a plant, I could wash the roots, but their eggs are so small and could be so attached onto a root, and then the next thing you know, you plant it and your yard's devastated because of me. And so to be good stewards of the earth, we said, nope, we're not doing that.
Yeah.
So
Do you guys grow all those yourselves? And then
a
you
lot
split
of them
and
come out
then
of
you
people's
sell-
gardens, well, if you contacted us and said, oh, I've got, all these plants and I wanna split them, a couple of us will come and dig them up and put them in buckets and take them to the plant sale. And then we grow some stuff from seeds. We didn't grow enough from seed this year to be able to say we're gonna have a full-blown plant sale, because we thought we would be able to use it, but the more we learned about these jumping worms, the more we were like, yeah, no. They're nasty. They're just, and now there's this new worm, the hammer worm, which is even just as bad. It's yellow and its head looks like a hammer, and it sticks its two prongs into the earthworm and basically fills it with lava, and then the babies eat from the
Wow.
inside out. So it kills off all your earthworms.
Sounds like a good monster movie.
Right? Sci-fi, here we are. So these things are, you know, you gotta be careful, and especially,
Yeah.
you know, with our, that's why we spent so much money on buying these little plants. Everybody's like, well, because they were grown totally in nurseries, they've never touched the ground. And, cause we have to, again, we're next to Max Apples, we wouldn't want
Right.
something to
Yeah.
happen to
Right.
that field
Yeah.
because of us.
Yeah.
Wow.
So do you have a date to, it looks like the first
No,
one
I
is
haven't,
wood chips?
we would just try to
So-
see if there was a feel for it. You know, we would be more than happy, you know, to help with any projects you guys are gonna be doing. But
Right.
we wanted to see if we could work better together.
Yeah.
Because if you have 6 people and I get 6 people, that's 12 people, that makes things
Right.
go really quick, you
Um,
know, and that's the goal.
And I think there's a few of us here who would definitely be willing to help as needed when we could, for sure. I would,
I mean, I
when
can
I am.
shovel chips.
Yeah.
Yeah, shovel some chips.
But part of that too, I think, is trying to harness our, multiple volunteer, bases, for this. And can we also, harness some of that volunteer base for like the fall, like it sounds like that
Fall's gonna be a big
fertilization
time
might
because
be a big one, but.
it's not hot, you
Right.
know? And
Right.
so therefore you're like, okay, we can do this, you
Right.
know?
Right,
Summer is hard. But I was hoping maybe to come up with an idea, John, you guys, whatever, that we put out an actual like thing that, these two groups are working together now, and these were a couple of projects. So if you
Yeah.
had a project that you said, oh, well, we really wanna do this project, then we could put it out there, and maybe by writing about it, putting it out there, we could tingle a little bit of excitement
yeah,
to kind of make them come forward a little bit, because I really feel like when we were collecting the plastic bags, we got a lot of people involved.
Yeah.
People were
That
very
went well.
excited about that.
yeah.
I almost want to do a
Yeah.
plastic bottle collection and make a greenhouse down by there out of plastic
I've
bottles.
seen that, yeah.
But I mean, that's a project that like would be good for everyone, because we're gonna
Right.
collect all these plastic bottles and then we're gonna put them together to make this greenhouse.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
things like that, like I'm just, feed mayonnaise to tuna, but that sort of thing. Just coming up with ideas and how the groups, because we're on the same vein, how we can work better together. It's just like, I'd like to see Marge get the Conservation Commission more involved in it, and she's
Sure, yeah.
agreed too, that there are things that maybe we can,
Yeah,
do more.
yeah, I
Together.
love the idea of the nature pockets,
Mhm.
that's pretty great.
Yeah, I mean, they're future ideas, if we
Yeah.
can get people to step up to the plate.
Yeah,
Anything that can save the quality
right,
of life, and I think beautiful things around us keeps us less looking at, the traffic in the city, and more looking at, look at those beautiful gardens,
Yeah.
That's always, when you
Yeah.
drive down a road and you see, plants hanging from a lamppost or on a bridge, you go, wow, that's so pretty, right? It makes you feel cozy and quaint, or little town America, but when you go down and you just see trash and this and that, you're just like, another town. So I'm trying to figure out ways to where we can embellish what little we have left. Embellish, I said the
Agreed.
wrong word, so.
agree. So I think, if we can, maybe just say, with these things that you've outlined, there are some of us who are definitely willing to help.
Okay.
And with our own, volunteer, and then let's, maybe brainstorm and figure out how to.
Okay.
How to
And are
work.
you guys gonna be at Old Home Day?
Well, I didn't put this on here, but I thought we'd leave that to the roundtable discussion, so we've been talking about it.
Well, if you don't
but-
wanna do a booth, or you're worried about volunteers, we're having a booth. And
Okay.
normally we'd have Trailways and Conservation, they've already told me they're not gonna
Yeah.
be doing anything. But if you want to be part of our booth, like in other words, just give us your sign and some stuff and whatever, we would be more than happy to,
That's really generous, though.
That's it.
Yeah, thank you
because we're
so
doing
much.
that for
Yeah,
the women's
yeah,
club too,
yeah.
where they're gonna have a booth, we're gonna have
Yeah.
them next to us, but they're down on volunteers too, and so,
So that's
you know,
what our
I'll take off
conversations
my
with them,
women's
like,
club
we-
hat, and
yeah.
I'll put on my green team hat, or I'll put on I can do that, cause I'll be there all day, Martha Smith will be there all day, and Marge
Okay,
Days
okay.
will be there all day, so
Yeah,
the three of us can handle,
yeah,
you know, and if somebody wants to pop in now and then, that's good too, but,
right,
you know, and if that's the case, we might wanna say to the town, can we get a little bit more space?
Yeah,
Because we're
sure.
gonna be taking care of a
Okay.
couple of things.
okay,
When
great.
was Old Holiday?
Where or when?
When?
Yeah.
August
Third Saturday in
14th,
August.
is it the 14th? Well, that's the senior barbecue's the 14th, so 15th, 16th,
14th.
16th, right?
16th,
16th,
yeah.
17th, Saturday?
Saturday, yeah,
Basically.
16th or 17th, yeah.
Yep.
Senior
17th is the
barbecue?
Saturday.
So 17th is the
Yep.
That's
Saturday.
Wednesday, the senior bar. Right.
Senior day is Wednesday, kid night is Thursday,
And you better get your tickets,
fireworks
they're
are
running.
Friday.
Well, I was thinking of my dad, but he won't go because he's not old enough to go, in his mind, so.
Good for him, good for
How
him,
old is he?
93.
good for him.
Like, I was like, you want to go to senior center?
Oh,
No.
jeez.
So I don't wanna eat up more of your meeting, I've already,
Okay.
thank you for being
Yeah.
nice enough to listen to
Yeah,
me
no,
at
thank
last
you.
minute, I
Yeah,
appreciate it.
yeah.
I just wanted to put it out there, and whatever you guys come back with,
Yeah.
that'd be fantastic.
And
Thank you.
awesome,
Thank you, Deb.
Thank you.
awesome job.
Thank
Alright.
you, Deb.
Peace
Thank
out,
you.
guys.
Thank
you.
you, thank you,
Wow, nice.
yeah. That is great.
By the way, I heard the discussion about, concern about South School watering, what you guys have done down there.
Yes,
What are
yeah.
these containers, which is,
I do not know, I
Well, we
do
should
not
find
know,
out.
so yep, that's why I have
Like-
that,
and that's
Yeah,
something
I
that the
have
fire
that
department
here,
fills it up, and
yeah,
that might be the answer for the watering thing.
Well, I've just been going over
Yeah,
yeah,
and watering myself
Yeah.
because I know right the few little spot, I mean, it's not like, you know, I have my 2
Yeah.
watering cans and it's plenty.
yeah,
I didn't even know there was stuff going over there, I had no clue. I just was digging out my stuff and I'm like, I'm gonna dig it directly out and I'll bring it right over
Yeah.
there, and then I was just like, oh, I can't even get, like, cause there is a water spigot over by the Flex building, but you can't, it's in the, that's in the middle of the construction
Right.
zone.
right,
Oh,
Darn it.
right,
Like, you know, nothing's in there, but I wasn't walking in there.
yeah, no.
So I was like,
maybe we
okay.
should take a
Yeah.
look at the container and maybe.
Yeah, that
Yeah,
would
I think that would
be-
be great
Yeah.
if there's
You know,
something,
What, especially if it
okay.
was something we could like, if they were, you could borrow them, you know,
yeah,
like if
well,
they
or
have
even,
them.
yeah, see what the design is.
Yeah, cause
um,
I looked
yeah.
along the building and I didn't see any other
Yeah.
spigots that
Okay.
were,
And maybe we
Doable.
raise money for, you know, that's one of our fundraising ideas, is raising money for this kind of addition to the South School. So, yeah, good. Good.
I know, 'cause I have a garden myself and I water it manually, 'cause I don't wanna water the weeds.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I'm, with this weather, it's sometimes 3 times a day.
Yeah.
And any plants that are out there, if they're not given attention, they're not gonna make it.
No, right, right,
In,
Yeah.
in this kind of weather.
Yeah.
It's not gonna do it.
no, that's for sure. Okay, next on the agenda, approval of June meeting minutes.
Do you have another agenda?
I do not, oh, you know what, Deb
Yeah, she
left
left hers, yeah.
Yep,
Yeah,
yep,
so it's
Deb
folded,
left
John.
hers.
There
I
you
was
go.
gonna say, I
That's
can-
okay, I can
I'm
record
on
it.
the computer.
Thank you,
Oh.
Mark. Okay.
No, anytime. Glad you're healthy and back.
Yeah, amen. Well,
Yeah.
I'm back.
Yeah.
Joy, I have a modification for the minutes.
Okay.
From Karen. We want to add, I think, Karen, unless you have an objection, to the second page under the South School section. We wanna make a comment that says, the committee talked about volunteering at South School to begin to bring those gardens up to speed. That was the follow-up meeting.
Yeah.
So, I guess the way we do this is I'll make a motion to include that in the minutes.
Is there
And-
someone to second that motion?
I will, thank you.
Okay. Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Alright.
Beth, I'd be happy to meet you down there some Thursday. That's the best day at this point for me.
Yeah. This Thursday I'm on call.
Okay, okay. Just so I can
almost didn't wanna go
familiarize
in there
myself.
Because like,
Yeah,
when I went around the back there, I was like, what's going on?
Yeah.
okay,
Yeah.
okay, cause
But
I need
maybe-
to get up to
Maybe
speed
they're
with
almost done.
what this committee is responsible for and what you're
Right.
working on.
Right.
So then, make a motion to accept the minutes as amended. Right?
Yep.
Yes.
Can I have a second?
Second.
Thank you, John.
I only
All
voted-
those in,
I
all
only
those in
voted
favor
there's-
of accepting the minutes as amended? Thank
Aye.
you. Okay, great, thank you guys. Still getting used to this voting procedure.
You're doing well.
Now, were those on the town website, or did you send them out in a notice? The minutes.
So I sent them out, John put them together, they go up on the website, and then I send them out to the committee. So, John, that might, can we deviate a little,
Yeah.
a second? Are you set with your town email? Because everything is going through town email at this point in time.
Exactly, okay. What is it?
So-
Let me know, what is it?
Okay, so I think we need to, it is,
John, do you have any time during the day to come by and see Kirsten? Cause she can set you
She
up,
will set
like,
it up,
she's
yeah.
like really good at it, like,
Okay.
like her office is on the second floor.
You have to be set up for something?
You have to get a
So-
password and an
Oh,
authenticator.
yeah,
Okay.
And I'm just thinking,
Yeah.
you could
She
even bring your
rocks
laptop by and
Yeah.
she's really good at it, like, I highly recommend her.
yeah,
Is there a
Um,
VPN app or a dual
it-
authentication app you have to use?
Yes, you have to go through a process where you get an authenticator, and I think that's the problem most people have, so.
Okay, well, I don't have a laptop, I just have, a tower.
You have your phone?
Yeah, you can do it on your phone.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So if you bring your
I
phone.
think I'm in the process of changing that, so.
Yeah, but if you have a chance, John, if she's here, her office is on the second floor, almost right directly
Okay.
above the stairs where the stairs come out.
Alright. Okay, I'll check that.
Yeah.
I haven't got my email, so I'll have to check in on that.
okay. So you haven't been issued one yet?
No, I haven't been told I was.
Okay,
Or they sent me an
Okay.
email, but they didn't tell me how to get in.
Okay.
No, I don't think it has been.
So-
So there's emails beyond emails from the group here.
so you should be issued a town email.
Oh, okay.
So I'm going to
Yeah.
email her tonight and just, ask her, if it's okay if the three of you come in at some point during the
Yeah.
week this week. Does that work, maybe?
Sure,
Is this week
sure.
okay? Okay, cause she is excellent and she will
Yeah.
walk you through.
Are we,
Okay.
should we be using those emails for all of our communication then?
Yes.
For anything to do
Beautify,
with-
Anything,
yes.
yeah.
Oh,
Okay.
okay.
Should we
Yeah.
contact her in advance about us coming in? Do you
Yeah,
have a?
I will just to
well,
make sure
I'll
she's
e-
here. Yeah. Sorry.
Yeah, no.
I said just to make sure she's here, John, cause I know she's busy, but,
And the other thing is, I talked to her today, they're doing staff rollout today,
yeah.
so they're.
Okay,
go
so
crazy.
it's different, yeah.
But your new email will end in, TOL boards, that's right, right?
Yep.
TOL boards
.org.
dot org,
Yeah,
so, they'll give you that.
stands for Town of Londonderry.
Okay.
Boards,
Yeah.
all boards,
Yeah,
allboards.com.
yeah,
We'll figure it out.
yeah.
She'll explain.
She's
Yeah.
excellent.
She will.
Yeah,
It's just another email and a password, it's not a big
Right.
deal.
right. The next thing on the agenda is the budget report. I did not get, to request the budget in time. As far as I know, there's been no money incoming since last meeting, and I know we've had no money outgoing since last time, so, it should be exactly the same as it was. But I will make sure to have that budget report. And again, this is something that we're trying to do every single month now to maintain on top of that. Sponsor road updates, John, any updates
I have
at
none.
all?
Nope.
Nothing, okay. Sponsor spot updates,
The signs are
Uh,
nice, the ones that I've seen out there, really.
What's
The ones you put out for the road sponsors. The people, I
Like
mean,
the,
the people, yeah, the people that are like, what's the new, that took over George's, what do they call it?
yeah, Win
Win.
Waste,
There's
yeah.
a sign there.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm sorry,
Yeah,
I'm sorry,
yeah.
yeah, Yeah,
They're very impressive,
yeah, those look good, don't they?
they do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then the ones up on Hardy Road or whatever
Yep.
it is.
Yeah, no, you weren't here, John, so we lost the shoe guys up there.
Oh, did you?
Yeah, they're relocating to the Midwest, but, so we need to find somebody.
They didn't want to continue with us?
From the Midwest. I'm sure there will be cleaning up there, I'm sure.
So actually what I wanna do is I wanna recover that sign and use that when we go to see new people to show them.
That's a
that
great
sign.
idea,
Yeah.
yeah, that's a great idea.
Okay.
Sponsor spot updates, so the South School project, Beth has already spoke to. And we talked about last time that the football team has done a pretty good job with the initial cleanup. So hopefully, once that construction is done, we can get back in
Who
there.
there was talk before about spreading wood chips in there as well.
Yeah, so that's Troop, so I'm asking Troops 521, to help with that.
But we don't have a
So-
date or anything,
No.
or even,
No.
do we have the guarantee of the wood chips?
We do not yet have
Oh,
the
okay.
guarantee, no,
Okay.
no.
Is that
So
domestic?
Etsy donated last time, and he did indicate that he'd be willing to do it again.
good.
So I'm hopeful that it will. And you know, if not, we do have funds available for, if we
Had
you know,
to
had to
purchase
pay.
them,
Yep, yep.
right, okay.
Yeah. So, town welcome signs update, John.
Yeah, a couple things.
Yeah.
I spoke with Paul Marlin, and he went into his memory bank and came back with some data on the signs. Okay, the signs were put up in 2006,
Okay.
so we know the age on the signs. The original price, including installation on the signs, was $1,600 a pop. So there were 5 of them that were agreed to, so it was about an $8,000 project in 2006. I've been going back and forth with the fellow that originally did the sign out of Lincoln, New Hampshire. And the rehab price. Now rehab is, he looked at the pictures I sent him, and you know, we have a number of problems. A number of the posts are splitting. Okay. John, you weren't here, but the one on Rockingham Road has a bullet hole in it. Okay. The one on the north side of town, up by the Backyard Brewery, the paint is actually separating from the wood up there, and some other have various other levels of damage, including some of them are just have from bird dew mostly. It's just eating away the paint and all this kind of stuff. It's 16 years. New Hampshire, winters, all that kind of stuff, okay. The reason I'm giving you all this folderol before I tell you is the estimate to rehab it. Now, rehab it would include coming down, pulling the signs,
Yeah.
fixing the posts in place. They basically use Bondurol to fix the post, and then they would rough sand them down, repaint the posts, then reinstall them, refurb the hardware or replace it as needed, okay? The estimate is $20,136.
What?
Okay.
Oh, wow.
20,000?
For 5
To
signs.
do 5 of
To
them.
refurbish it.
Well, basically, when they refurbish, they strip the wood down to bare.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm like,
Yikes.
Brand new,
Yeah.
to go from scratch,
Yeah.
okay, would be about 3/5, that number represents about 3/5, 2/3 the price of brand new.
Okay.
Okay. I don't know how to, I asked some questions. I said, what if we talked to the DPW and had them take the signs down and deliver them up there? We could save a couple of $1,000s, but we're assuming they have the skills and the time. And
Right.
really, that's just taking money from one pocket. and
Right, it is.
That's just-
Okay.
Yeah.
So,
Okay.
that is what it is. Now, that's a price from, I haven't gone anybody else. And one of the records Paul gave me was the 5 companies they spoke to back in 2006.
Okay.
I can speak to them and see if we can find somebody who might be interested. This went through some extensive vetting in the town back then. Heritage was involved,
Yeah.
the town council was involved, everybody kind of put their fingers in terms of the design on this thing. So, you know, there was a whole process. So if we wanna rethink how we're going, if I were to suggest next steps, I would suggest that, just basic good business would be, I'll try to reach out to a couple of other sign companies and see what's going on out there. We may wanna rethink the plan of doing 5 of them,
Great.
okay, based on what we're
Right.
doing. But if we're still committed to doing something, and as I said initially back, the Rockingham Road sign and the North Town, they need to be fixed, those
Yeah.
2 signs need to be fixed.
Yeah, yeah.
It wouldn't be exact because he still has some, travel costs he gotta work in, but you
Okay.
could count on the fact that that would be, 2/5 the cost of this, so that would be $8,000 plus some travel time,
Yeah.
so, to rehab those signs,
Okay.
okay? The one on the north side of town, for all intents and purposes, is a replacement at this point, okay, so,
Okay.
Can I ask you, who paid for these originally?
fundraising.
Fundraising.
Fundraising?
So if we're still looking to do that, to do something with these signs, then I'll go and finish the fundraising letter and I will
Okay.
email that to everybody so everybody can see
Okay.
that.
Okay.
And then we agreed to have, Justin scan or any
Yeah.
fundraising letter
Yeah.
before we send it out. And we'll start to push that out there and see if we
Okay.
can get some money
Wow.
specific to this project.
Yeah, I think that's a great idea, John.
Is the sign, or did I miss it, the sign that was by, going into Market Basket, is that still there, or was it moved?
The Wendy's one.
It's over by
Wendy's.
Wendy's.
It's still there?
Yeah.
That's how inconspicuous it is, right?
It's hard to see.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
I said,
The initial idea I had,
Yeah.
John, was to do something to raise the size of the posts. DPW came back and said, no, what you should probably do is build a bigger mound underneath it and raise it up a little bit more. And then what I proposed at the last meeting, before we had any of this pricing and looked at what we were looking at here, was that we speak about moving that sign to that patch of ground right by the on 102, coming west to Londonderry, right off of 93. There's a nice clear patch of
okay,
ground there, and that's really the entry. It's not really the entry to town, but that's
from Derry.
yeah, from Derry. That's what people see, because you can barely see it. You have to actually go be in the Wendy's parking lot to see it.
The only other alternative would be to use that one to replace the bad one up north, if you wanted to do that.
And not have one there, or yeah.
Well, or maybe
I mean, it's
raise
just an alternative.
raise more money to, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
If we had to raise
Yeah.
the mound up, so now we're talking dirt and all that, is that still our fundraising responsibility?
I didn't ask
It's a
John
bad place.
Trotter if he would do that for us for the DPW. Because he was willing to, and I can follow up with him, but he was willing to take a tool and shoot from the street and tell us how high we would have to raise it. Because he didn't think it was necessary to raise it too high, but I still think it's a crummy location.
It is a lousy location, it shouldn't
Well,
be.
how long,
There's a lot
it's
of
been there
growth there.
since 2006,
Yes, it
and
was,
we've had growth around it.
right, so that's what's happened, is that, you know, in the last
I'm gonna have
5
to go
years
look
or
for the
so,
sign.
Probably
that
Wendy's
that
wasn't
has
there
been-
when.
has been
You know, it wasn't,
changed.
actually,
Yeah.
that's
Okay.
true.
Yeah,
Wendy's was not, and that whole
Yeah.
guardrail system that's there was.
So it was,
That's
you
for
could see it.
yes,
Yeah.
you
Right,
could see
yeah,
it,
well,
Yeah.
yeah, you could see it before, yeah.
And who do you have to get permission from to, see if that land is that state
It's a
land,
state-
Londonderry
That
land?
is state land.
Yeah.
State land.
But you know what, it's interesting going back to look at what they did, because if you think about it, the one on 102 on the west side of town
Yeah.
is on state land
Yeah.
too.
Yeah.
So now there might be another reason. Maybe that's where they dump snow, and there could be other reasons why they
Right.
might say no. But we can start that process.
Yeah.
But I
Sure,
think the first
sure.
thing we have to understand is what are we going to do and how much are we going to
Yeah.
raise and all that kind of stuff. So this kind of rocked me a little bit when I saw it.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, I-
That's-
that's, yeah. Wow, okay. So serious fundraising.
That is big time
It
fundraising.
is, yep. Yes, indeed.
Yikes.
All right, well, thank you, John. So I think, so we're leaving it at that you are going to contact a couple of other companies.
I will call these guys or somebody
Okay.
else and let them know what what we're thinking about and see if somebody is interested in this kind of thing.
Okay, okay.
You would think we could find someone local. you know.
Well, you know what?
Yeah,
I don't even know if these companies are still
They may
around,
not
John.
even exist.
yeah.
Let me tell you who they have. They spoke with Postal Center USA, which was in Londonderry Commons. That I know that's gone.
Yeah.
Okay. Creative Signs in Merrimack, I don't know them. New Hampshire Signs in Londonderry on Old Derry Road,
Oh, Derry Road.
I don't know them. Summit Signs in Hempstead. And the fellow that did this originally was the lowest bidder, so,
Oh, boy.
And he was in Lincoln.
yes. But he was the lowest bidder 15, 16
Yeah.
years ago. You know,
Sure.
things can change.
Sure.
Right, they can
Something.
change.
Is there a, the design of the sign? Did that have to be voted on, approved by certain committees? Because say if we were to say, okay, this is gonna be 20 grand to rehab these, but we found somebody else that could give us brand new signs and all that for 15, is there a,
Process, we need to go
Yeah.
through.
do we have to keep it exactly looking the same, or,
I
what
would
is
say
that
we-
look?
I mean, any changes, I would assume that we would have to go through, for example, Heritage, if Heritage was involved. at the first
Heritage was
time, I mean,
involved,
that's-
and they had
Yeah.
they actually had a contest of some sort
Oh,
to
okay,
do the design a
Yeah.
little bit,
yeah,
Mhm.
and so there were a lot of people that looks like they put their fingers on it back in 2006.
So we probably, unfortunately, sounds like rehabbing it keeps us politically correct.
yeah, I think we should not change.
I was just,
Yeah,
just
no, I think it's
gotta
a good
at least
question,
ask,
yeah,
right?
it's a good
No, no,
question,
no.
but yeah.
Yeah, I think
It's
if we
like-
put up a modern plastic sign with like maybe a neon backing to it, we might catch some objections.
little arrows.
And some flamingos.
Yeah, I think there might be an issue.
No, I
with
wouldn't
that.
want a plastic sign, I kinda like the signs.
Yeah,
However,
yeah, that's a good
However.
thing.
It, what, I just don't understand why, this is kind of really promoting the town.
Yeah,
Why isn't this
A
a
town-
project of the town to rehab these things? I don't know if it was DPW or who would be the one, I don't know why it's Beautify
because we put
Londonderry.
them in first, cause we paid to have them put in.
likely.
You guys could put it on a warrant. article.
I guess we could.
I mean, you definitely could do that. You could definitely say, I wanna appropriate $20,000 on a warrant article and put it on the warrant and go through the town and you should certainly get it, you could do it that way too.
Okay,
Wait,
That's worth a
wait a
shot.
second. We have a representative, a politician in the room.
Yes.
Ron,
A real
would
politician.
that get through the warrant? Would that get through the town? Would that get through the people?
I think, so, if we asked them for $20,000 to fix the signs, that's something that's, I think a lot of people like.
I think people
I do too.
appreciate the
I
signs.
agree with that.
You know, you're not asking for $1 million.
Yep,
But maybe you say, we raised 10 and we're looking for 10. Maybe you ask for 10 and you
Yeah.
say, we raised 10.
Okay, that's interesting.
Because that was one
Yeah.
thing that frustrated
Right.
people with the pickleball. They wanted people to raise more money.
Yeah,
You know, so maybe this committee, or together we raise 10,
if we
and
could
we
do
ask for
that.
10 from a
That's
warrant
very
article.
reasonable.
sure.
You know, just,
I like that idea.
you know,
I like that.
yeah.
That at least makes it
Yeah.
You can swallow that pill.
You know?
And I
Right.
do like the idea, I don't quite understand what a warrant article is, but,
So warrant article is in March when you go to vote.
right,
There's different appropriations. In order to spend money for the town, you have to appropriate money, and that's how we do it. So basically, we'd be saying $10,000. Does the town approve that? And the voters would come and say yes or no. And if they say yes, we do approve that, then $10,000 is allocated to Beautify Londonderry to spend on the signs.
all right.
You know how we could position this? We could position this, I think it's a great idea, Rhonda,
Mm.
where we raise 10, we get it on a warrant article for the remaining 10.
Yep.
If it passes, great, we get them all done. If it doesn't pass, the 10 should cover the 2 worst ones.
Yeah.
Okay.
True.
Yeah, yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
I like that.
Yeah.
What's the intent, what's the fundraising idea? How do we do it?
On to roundtable discussion.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, but I mean, a warrant article wouldn't
Yeah.
come up until the spring
March.
anyways.
Right.
So we have plenty of time to put together an idea and see what we can do. And we discussed, I think, a little bit about, big businesses coming to town and some of the guys. There were some
Yeah.
substantial donations. I think from talking to
Yes.
Paul, what they did was they sort of, there's a donor sign
Yep.
that goes next to
Yeah.
them, and one of the
Yes.
one of the people is one of the names on the sign is the landscaping company that maintains it.
Yeah.
But beyond that, people made companies made specific donations, and I think some of them actually paid for their sign. Okay, now smaller dollars and cents then, but
Yeah.
I think that could be it. We could try to sell for, these are in essence costing us $5,000 a piece, so we can go and get maybe 2 donors per sign or something.
Businesses in Londonderry, and this is promoting
Right.
Londonderry.
Yeah.
Right.
Right.
So they
Right.
might go along with it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What about all these new places up in, up on Pettingill Road and all that?
Right.
Yep.
Those
So,
big
Yeah.
new ones.
yeah.
I bet New Balance. I think I still have to talk to them, but I bet they could chip in some money.
Yeah.
Who's that?
New Balance.
New Balance, yes.
Plus, we
Yeah.
got Tesla coming up there.
All right.
So
Those might be, it's promoting the town, they're new to the town, and we wanna be good partners, it might work.
right.
So do we wanna have that, cognizant of time, do we wanna have that as our main discussion then, next meeting?
Probably.
To, come to we'll have some more information from you on other pricing, and I will have our budget report, so everybody can look at it as we're going through this. And then we can talk about, how much we, target amount, how much we wanna target, and the timing for the warrant articles. So we vote in March.
So-
When do they need to be?
So I would go through
submitted?
Justin with the warrant article because he has all the specific what you have to do. I
Okay.
want to say sometime around October
Okay,
is when you get it organized and get it approved by the lawyers,
okay,
and then in November is when it gets a little bit more worked on. But I would go through Justin for all like the specific deadlines, so you can get on the. And then
Would it say anything in the wording that Beautify Londonderry has provided half the funds?
yes, so similar to the water warrant article, it gets sent to the state and they can change things however they want, but we can recommend things get put in there. And then they might tweak it a little bit, like the warrant article, they made us put the full amount on.
You could help us write that.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
I like that.
And Justin, I think he would know the best exact dates,
okay,
but I know January is the absolute cutoff date you have to have it submitted by.
Probably
But
the
I
earlier
believe
the
in
better.
October,
to get started.
you get started
Okay.
working on it and get it to the lawyers and make sure they can see it. And
Yep,
I think
that's
that's a
great.
great idea.
yeah,
yeah,
Super.
We
It
could
is.
very well,
Yeah.
we could very well do it,
yeah.
because we're.
I think there's an appetite out there for 10,
We're
you know,
doing our part.
and especially if people see that we did 10,000 of it.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
Yeah, so.
Okay. Good.
Excellent.
Earned your
Thank you,
stripes
guys.
today.
Yeah.
Roger was a good guy.
On that note, I'm gonna sneak out, okay?
Thank you, Ron.
No,
So
thank
much
you,
for
guys.
being
Thanks
here.
very much.
Appreciate
You
it.
have a council meeting?
Yes.
Appreciate
Hold
it.
on, let me give you that.
Absolutely,
Just
sir.
take that with you.
Thank you.
That's what we're thinking about, but I haven't put it through the
Perfect.
committee yet.
I know
Thank you,
you're
guys.
very busy.
Yeah.
How you doing,
Okay, so finally roundtable discussion. Anything to add, Beth?
I got a question,
Yeah.
cause I wasn't here for the last meeting. How did we do on the tickets for the ice cream? Do we know how many we gave out?
So, yes, and I am not gonna remember that number right now. It was upwards of 150.
150?
Well, because we had given about 120 approximately the day of the cleanup. And then we then gave, maybe it was more than that, and then we gave to the football players. So John asked to make sure that it was okay that
Oof.
because the football players were in June, they came in June.
I don't know, I haven't talked to them.
Yeah.
I wanted to have some information before I did.
Yeah.
Because initially, when I talked to them, we were talking somewhere around 100.
Yeah.
So you're thinking,
So what
Yes.
happened was, I went over there
Yeah.
and I met with the store manager.
Faye,
Say name?
Faye,
Oh,
Kelly,
Kelly, okay.
Kelly's, that's, she's a Hicks, she's Danny Hicks's wife.
Oh, okay, Kelly, and I,
Kelly runs the
Okay.
Faye runs the inside, the
Okay.
bakery and all that.
and basically what I said to Kelly was, look, we've got this thing, I'll have about 80 to 90 football players, I think we ended up with a few less than that.
Oh, boy.
And I said, your choice, I said, we haven't promised them anything.
Right.
If it's to your advantage from a business point
Oh,
of view,
good,
Yeah.
good,
okay,
good.
then we'll
Yeah.
do that, but if it's not, we'll just put them in our pocket. And so we waited, and then I called her about 2 days before we did the football thing, and I said, what did you guys decide? Again, made it very clear, no pressure,
Yeah.
if it's to your advantage. She said, yeah, go ahead, do it, okay?
They were
Yeah.
fantastic.
Yes, yeah.
And
I just
did,
wanna
Amazing.
thank them, for
Yeah.
well, I
Yeah.
drove by with my grandson, we had an ice cream
Ice
over there, and I said, thank you, after the football thing, so.
Okay.
So, and we had talked about maybe doing a plaque.
Yes, we
That would
did.
be nice.
Yeah, we did.
That
Yeah.
would really be
Yeah.
nice.
Yeah.
M-
So-
Maybe John could do the plaque and, cause got the relationship there.
What do you mean?
Would you mind taking that on to their,
I don't know, who do you use to do that? I don't,
I can
I
check
would
with
use
our,
Google.
I can check with our, I can check with the swim team because at our swim team, the kids get plaques and I know they do it somewhere here local.
Locally
I'm not sure it's
Londonderry?
Londonderry, but it's local, like, Londonderry or
I don't know
Windsor
if that, that trophy place in
Crown
Hicks
Trophy that's in
Hooks
Hooksett,
it,
yeah,
they
Crown
would do
Trophy.
it.
That might be it.
That's where I've gotten stuff
those the
from
people
for
you
different
talked with?
things.
Yeah.
I
Before
talked to them and we
about-
didn't, they
Yeah.
claimed we didn't have enough time to get the ribbons.
Right, yeah,
But, I mean, this isn't,
Yeah.
But you
it
have
has
to-
to be done tomorrow.
Right,
The question is, the wording, if there's any design ideas that we would want for that.
yeah.
I think we ought to
Um,
kinda have some ideas of
Sure.
our own to design it and then give it to them.
and give it to the plaque people, so you know you're not going in and then just
Yeah.
And then
relying
get
on
something,
their,
oh, this isn't what I wanted.
right,
Why don't I use, because I put together the certificate that hand out. And so I have both the Colby's Cones artwork and the Beautify Londonderry logo.
That would probably be a
So
good
why don't I
idea.
put
Oh.
together something that would be,
Okay.
that, and I'll send that to you, or I'll
Okay.
send that to the whole committee. But then you can take
I'll
to.
go up to Hooksett on that.
Okay,
But I think that's a great idea.
yeah.
And I
no,
think,
cause then they can display it, and
Yes.
everybody sees that they're community involved.
And actually, John, they had a plaque on the outside of their building for
Yeah.
the Colby,
Yeah.
and maybe they could put this plaque somewhere
Yeah.
near
Okay.
that or something.
Yeah, Yeah,
that's
that's great.
excellent.
Okay, so that's on my job list. Do artwork. John, anything else to add?
Yeah, I have a couple things.
Yeah.
One is, I only made 2 copies of this, but we can pass it around. This is some fellow that was in Facebook,
Okay.
that gathered up trash
Oh,
and filled up a bag walking.
Oh my goodness.
Now, he doesn't say what street, but one of the comments, I didn't print the comment page, was somebody talked about
Interesting.
the street, the cutover street to the airport on the north side of town.
Oh,
Starts with an L. What's the next town? Oh, Litchfield
Oh,
Road.
Litchfield,
Litchfield
yeah.
Road. She has the same problem with nips and all this kind of stuff. So one of the things I thought I'd do, Betsy gave me this morning,
Yeah.
was, reply to the 2 of them and invite them for our other alternate positions, see if they might be
Yeah.
interested.
yeah.
Yeah.
But that's, I'll pass that around.
Thank you.
Well, when I cleaned up on South Road, that's all, mostly was
thank you.
nips and cans of alcohol.
Oh,
So, you know they're drinking when they're driving. That's what they're doing.
Well, my thought was, there's a lot of hunters that stop there, so is it, but yes, they're
Yeah.
it's probably kids, there's, who knows, I mean, it's everybody.
I mean, I think that's the vast majority of things that are seen with the
sure.
cleanup day too.
Oh,
So,
absolutely.
Yeah.
The cans, the
Yeah.
bottles, the nips.
Yeah, yeah.
Actually, this guy's comments, when he put this in here, wasn't so much
Where
about the
was this
amount of.
at?
Yeah.
He doesn't say, so that's one thing.
No, I mean, where was this article, this?
Oh, it was
they put
Facebook,
it-
Facebook.
Oh, okay, that's what I was wondering.
Um,
Yeah.
our life revolves around Facebook. We need to know that.
Yeah.
Betsy came flying down the stairs this morning saying,
Oh, wow.
but his point wasn't so much the dirt, was he had some substance abuse history in his family, and he was very concerned about it.
Well, and I think about that too, it's like, what are we missing in our schools? Because I'm gonna, 50% could be underage drinking and they're tossing all their stuff out. How do we fix that? There's gotta be something lacking where they're just not thinking of, don't drink and drive, don't underage drink, and don't litter. You know what I mean? Like, I don't
That's a
know.
big conversation.
That sure
Do
is.
kids drink from nips though?
Oh,
Probably not.
I
Fireball.
don't,
If they can get
They
little nips of
probably
Fireball.
Wanna shut that door?
Yeah.
There's another thing that I see, because I continue to pick
yeah,
up, is, because my neighbor's a policeman in Manchester, and I guess they call them dippers. And that's where they usually water bottles, and they have, I don't know how
Oh,
they do
spit in
it.
it.
No, yeah, but they have these tobacco pouches,
uh-huh.
and you'll see a bottle, and there might be 6 or 7 of these tobacco pouches in that water. I don't know what they do with it, whether they drink it or.
No, it's just to get rid of it, but then they're tossing it out the window instead
But
of.
there's places on the road that I live where
You see
they
that.
throw them all the time.
Yeah.
I see them all the time.
Yeah.
I know I'm gonna go by there and I'm gonna pick it up, and it's the same people,
Yeah.
of course.
But that's a great idea to contact the.
All right, I will do
That
that.
would be, yeah, that would, he sounds like it would be a good person, or she would be a good person.
But in all seriousness, with regard to Facebook and any of those kinds of things, I think we should, just as Ron's gonna talk to the town council today about the fellow that spoke to him about dirty roads and things, I think whenever we see something like this in the paper, we probably, or in Facebook, we
Yeah.
probably should respond. And I think a good
That's
response
great.
is, please
Yeah.
come to our meeting,
Yeah, yeah.
get involved,
Yeah.
we wanna hear from you, all
Yeah,
that kind of
I
stuff.
agree.
But let
Okay.
them know, just like Ron's gonna publicize us.
Yeah, that would be
Yeah.
great.
Can I do another?
Of course.
Okay.
Of course.
Of course. Yeah. All right, so we talked about a do-it-yourself cleaning station, and I think I found it. Okay. This, reason I like this was, first of all, if we go to the library, the post office, or any of those guys, this
Yeah.
is on wheels. So
Yeah.
they can move it around if they have to refinish floors or clean or whatever they wanna do. It has a place for us to hang vests,
Yeah,
okay? And there's plenty of shelving for us to put gloves, plastic bags, whatever, paperwork that the town says we have to put out, and probably even a little room for signage on this thing. In terms of dimensions, this is about 1.5 feet deep by about a little less than 4 foot wide by 78 inches, about 6.5 feet tall.
okay.
Okay, it's the Amazon ad said it would hold up to 600 pounds worth of stuff. So I think it looks like it's fairly sturdy. It undoubtedly comes in a box and requires assembly. The cost on this was $129.
Okay,
Okay, which is not too bad.
yeah, that's not bad.
So what if unless somebody has a better idea, I was looking at woodworking things and none of them looked half this good.
Okay,
I would suggest that this would be good, and what I'd like to do is now go and approach the library and based on what they said, the fire department maybe and maybe town hall and see, can we get that much space?
Yeah.
Understanding you can move it around and see if we can get this thing up and running by the fall.
that's a great idea.
So this would be in conjunction with the fall thing for people to come in on their own and do
Yes.
this?
So the idea, John, is for this to be situated at the library where, they could barcode, if this is feasible, they could barcode the, equipment that we need returned for the grabbers and the vests.
We'd have to have,
Um,
real complete instruction, otherwise we're gonna
Right.
be losing stuff.
Yeah, yeah. And we get attrition on things anyway. I think in my mind, the people who are going to be going to the library to collect these things are going to be the ones who are conscientious and will,
I would think
mostly
so.
return them, right? So that's the idea, is that
So
to
we are
have a
doing
station.
a fall cleanup?
We haven't decided that yet, we hadn't talked about that yet, but we, so we hadn't talked about that
Okay.
yet.
So this would be for any time in the future?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So who would do this? For the person that's out there doing the walk anyways,
Yeah.
we would really like to have them with a vest on so that they can be seen, ideally.
And identified.
Yeah, and give them a grabber and let them do their thing,
Yeah.
okay? In terms of the library, if it wasn't barcoded, it might be an opportunity for the library to give out more library cards, and they might consider that a plus, I don't know,
Yeah.
but, and we'll see if they, how they wanna do it. This would be indoors at the library, it wouldn't be out front or anything,
Right.
so, ideally we'll get some of the stuff returned, and we could get some attrition on this stuff anyways, so. We've got new grabbers, John, that are a little bit more durable than the ones we've had in the past,
Oh,
so.
good.
But if everybody's okay, we'll start that rolling.
Fantastic idea.
Yeah.
At this point, is it just sort of like in your car, where is all of this housed at the moment?
John's.
My house.
Okay,
My house.
okay. No, but isn't that wonderful? Because before I even participated in the spring cleanup, I thought to myself, geez, I wonder where I could get some bags that would be recognized by the DPW. I had no idea until I saw it in the paper.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
terrific.
Yeah.
Yeah, kind of, we have Beautify Londonderry over here, our washer and dryer over there.
Oh my goodness.
Thankful that
Basically,
you
we
have
need
room
one
for
of
that.
these as a trial at home, so
Yes.
you can easily
That's all, that's what it has to
organize
say.
at home.
Permanent Beautify Londonderry installation in our basement. That's all she
Oh,
needs to see.
Goodness.
What does your wife say?
She says, do what you will.
She says, just keep it neat.
That's right.
And by
That's
the
it.
way,
That's exactly.
change the washer to the dryer, please.
While you're there.
It
My
will
only
cost you.
question on the barcoding piece of it, because my IT brain just said,
Yeah.
who's gonna scan it, what database is it going to, who's gonna have the handheld scanner? Is it something we could have card catalog that the library could check it out
Well,
for
so that's right.
us?
You know, I just know from the school library, from Timberlane School Library, they can barcode anything.
Right.
It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter what it is.
Right.
And so I guess that was just my idea. If it's the same kind of system,
I'm sure they can
they-
build us
they
a
could
little,
probably, yeah.
small database with,
yeah.
So what's the idea of the barcode?
so we were.
Well, just checking. So
You check it out and,
so
and it checks
right,
it.
Oh,
so
they have a
to
record.
know who
Who
has
grabbed our
what.
stuff
Oh,
and
okay.
didn't return it.
You know, another option is too that we kind of have our own. Although I don't really know how this would work so much, but you know, we could have a QR code, and if somebody's checking something out, they could tap the QR code with their phone and then come to a spreadsheet just to add in their information of what they're taking, and then add it again when they returned it. That would be a little much clunkier because I don't really know what I'm doing, but
Well,
maybe
yeah,
we could
because
ask
you
the
need a
town for help
database
with
and
that.
everything for that, with the QR code
right.
for it to even do.
Right.
So I like the approach of the library
Yeah.
better. Can you give us a small fictional section of, you know?
Well, particularly if we suggest that we're gonna get involved in cleaning up their blueberry patch, they might have.
Yeah.
Oh, see, now
Yeah,
there we
yeah.
go. All right, I'll
Yeah.
clean up the blueberry patch if you will barcode these
Right.
grabbers
What was
on
it?
Tuesday.
Tell you what we're gonna do.
Have I got a deal for you?
What a deal we have for you.
Okay.
Now, where are these blueberries?
I think they are right in front of the library. If I remember, I don't remember entirely, but I think they're right in front of the library. I think that's where Green Team put them.
But how many blueberry bushes do they?
I don't
I'm gonna
know.
have to go check this
Yeah,
out.
and
Now I
so
need
that's
to
one of
know,
the things that
because
we
it's
ran
like-
into also was, needing to, because when you put so many projects out, who maintains
Who
it?
maintain, right.
And having only a certain small number of people,
Yeah.
it's very difficult.
Right.
So, yeah.
Well,
Sure.
yeah, and okay, so we keep talking about South School
Yeah.
because, thank you, Shelby, my daughter.
Oh,
But you also started the South School garden, right? Didn't you start that?
No.
Oh, I thought you
did. No.
But like, what do the other schools have for gardens? Do they even have them?
Wasn't Laura involved in that?
So she was involved, but I mean that was started a while ago. It was
Okay.
started a long
I just
time
assumed
ago.
you had done it. So.
Nope. We just recognized that it was no longer maintained, and
Okay.
so it was our idea to kind of step in, and the Green Team, a couple of their members did help out as well last year. There was the Jersey Mike's, a couple of people from that team helped out. A couple of people from Planet Fitness at one point had helped out. So there was some initial, but then we just couldn't keep it sustained. And the idea is for hopefully the PTO or the PTA to be able
Right.
to do that, or the school, or
You would think the school,
Or-
you think the school would do
right.
something. It's on their area.
But again, they don't have the thing is
The
they
volunteer
don't
thing.
have the budget for that. It's
Right.
and
They're
they
looking.
don't have the bandwidth.
I just mean maintaining it, weeding it, watering, that kind of thing.
And
you
I
know what, John? One of the biggest issues with volunteerism, and I hear this a lot now, is particularly in Londonderry, is that most of the folks in Londonderry are two people working,
Yes,
and
Yeah.
it's not the same as it
Right.
was
it
back
used
in
to
our
be.
day.
Right,
Yeah.
you're
So
right. Yeah.
it's just tough. It's tough for volunteers. That's why a lot of the committees, with the exception of you ladies, of course, are old guys. Okay,
oh, you're
Alright.
kind.
Because they're so damn busy.
Yeah.
Right.
So,
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
the two people working, and then kids have to be in every activity.
Right.
So there really isn't a whole lot of time available,
No. Yeah. There's not.
even for us.
And then we have a school teacher as our president.
You're a school teacher?
I am.
I do
Oh,
know.
I didn't know
Yeah,
that.
I am. Yep, yep.
What do you teach?
I teach
where?
high school at Timberlane Science.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, yeah. Environmental science, it's my.
PhD.
Wow.
PhD science.
That's impressive.
Doctor.
That's okay.
So,
Okay.
so can I ask where the what schools have gardens, and are we responsible for those?
No,
No, we're
No,
not.
we're not.
Okay, so we're just trying to bring that garden up to
Yes.
date at South School.
Yeah.
What other
That's
school, oh, okay, so that's really,
North
I don't
Stone,
need to
Matthew
know
Thornton,
then.
Yeah.
Oh, they all do?
No, I don't know if they do or
Oh,
not.
right.
Here's the thing, my daughter teaches she's a case manager at South School.
Okay.
His daughter-in-law,
Oh, yes.
my
yes.
daughter, his daughter-in-law.
Okay,
And I guess they were told a couple years ago that somebody would come and nothing ever happened.
okay.
So this year, Shelby said, "Oh, they're gonna come." They're like, "Yeah, right." So
Okay.
we showed.
Okay.
We showed up.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, not enough time in the day. You know, it was
Right.
hot,
Right.
but we made a good dent.
Yeah.
So we're trying to keep good faith with South
Okay,
School,
got it.
only because of
The fact that they all got
The-
behind in keeping it up,
yes,
okay.
yeah. So
And we did try to. It just there was not enough
Nobody
people
wants to
who's-
work.
Okay.
who was stepping in.
what time is good on
and so-
Thursdays for you? I
Um,
mean,
this Thursday, I know you're busy and I have an
no,
appointment in the morning, but
okay.
anytime Thursday, that's good for you.
Okay.
That's my,
I mean, I'm on
Not
call, but I
grandchild
can zip over
age.
there, because if I get a page, I acknowledge it, but. So why don't you let me know, like, if Thursday works for you, just email me or I'll give you my phone number, and we can just zip over there, just so you can know what we're talking about.
sure,
Yeah.
And
sure.
then,
okay, okay,
know.
great.
yeah, I'm on
Um,
call, but. I'm
Yeah,
2 minutes
Beth, why
away
don't
from
I
my
call
desk.
you about South School, cause I feel like, okay,
603
uh-huh,
490 5200. And I don't have a fancy signature line like this guy does.
I haven't called John, I don't know.
Well, no, it was on
Fancy.
the email when I saw the thing is, it's all fancy, and I'm like, mine just says from my phone. I used to have good stuff, and then I got rid of it when my phone got
Okay.
replaced.
She gets away with this because we
Okay.
have to go to dinner occasionally.
But we're just trying to help them out.
Okay, I understand, okay,
Yeah.
sure.
Awesome. Karen, do you have anything?
No, only that I'd like to know where I can be helpful,
That's great. I think the garden would be really
Okay.
really
at South School,
yeah.
yes, okay.
For this, and I need to help. I want to help when I can too. So yeah,
Right.
yeah. We'll
It's just,
yeah.
like I said,
I
with the
know, yeah.
construction, I've tried to be like,
Yeah.
I don't want to. The first day when I went over, I had my Beautify Londonderry T-shirt on, because I figured I'll put this on today because I'm digging in the dirt over here,
Yeah.
and someone say, "What are you doing?"
Yeah, exactly,
And
okay,
nobody even knew that I was there.
okay.
Yeah.
But you have to go in the one way. You have to go in the out to get to
Okay.
the back
Okay,
because of the construction on the other side of the school.
okay.
I don't know what they're doing over there.
Do you have availability this Thursday to kind of show me, or would you rather wait till,
No,
A
we'll
week
just
from.
do it. We'll just zip over on Thursday.
okay,
Get it done.
okay,
Get it done.
Get it done.
Awesome.
sounds good.
And then finally, so Old Home Day, Deb had mentioned that we can have a spot in our booth. We had talked last time about the possibility of maybe marching in the parade. Do we want to have a presence at Old Home Day? I will say my August is pretty straight out.
Mhm.
I'm going into my second year being the department head
Mm.
Oh,
of
really?
science
Oh,
department,
Good for you.
which is it's great. It's great.
I think.
yeah. But we have big meetings even before all the other teachers start back. So my August is pretty full up. It would be tough for me.
I might consider if, what would Deb's offer, to do there. I might be willing to spend some time there. I'm not gonna be doing any running,
You're not, yeah.
and, 'cause last time, normally I march in the parade.
Yeah.
Because of what I had gone through just prior to, actually rode in a golf cart, which was unbelievable for me to do that, but I did it.
Yeah.
And they welcomed me, come on, join us. So, I'm trying to get back into running, but, I haven't run since February.
Okay.
So, I'd be willing to spend some time with Deb
Okay.
and her group, if anybody else would.
So,
What are the hours for the booths over there for Old Homes Day? Because I appreciate the offer, I just feel like there's still some conflicting with town and 501, you know what I mean? Where I would feel better if at least some of us could at least volunteer for a couple hours or something.
They usually take things down around 5, don't they, on Saturday?
Usually
even earlier.
Yeah,
it's
we
been,
would-
Or
um,
4
When
sometimes.
we did it a couple of years ago,
4, 3.
I think we
Yeah.
were done before that.
Yeah, most people.
I was
think are-
melting.
Yeah.
Well, that's the thing,
If
is
it's
you
gonna be
almost
like
feel
it
like
has
1
been,
hour
I
at a
don't know.
No,
time
it
or
didn't have to
something.
be, it just, that was the year we had the tattoo, the temporary
Face painting,
face
yeah.
painting, whatever, and we had a pretty good crowd come in
Yeah.
for that. Now Kirsten did say we could fundraise at that, but it's kind of
Yeah.
short notice to come up with
Yeah.
an idea for
Yeah.
that, but,
Yeah.
Do we have something to give out, some literature or something? We need to have something,
So, I mean, that would be easy enough to come up with.
particularly if we're having
we-
something in the fall, it would be a good promotion.
Yeah, so we have
And maybe a
templates that we
sign-up
did a couple
list.
of years ago. I think that year we did a booth was the year we had done our first fall.
Yeah, I
right?
think it was.
If I remember correctly.
yes, I think
And so
that's
we
right.
have some literature that we could just refresh.
If we could- I
That
think
could
that
be
would be
handed
nice.
out. Yeah, yeah.
Do we have another meeting before Old Home Days?
Let me look at the calendar. It's the 17th, we said, right?
No, it's after,
It's after. Okay.
the Monday after Old Home Day.
Yeah.
Okay.
I am not available those days, so I'm sorry.
That's okay.
We could have-
It's the 19th. Yeah.
You could have another meeting scheduled earlier.
We could. Yeah, we
If
could
we
move our
need to.
meeting. Mm-hmm.
I will probably be there regardless, cause I just got appointed to the, master plan steering.
Okay.
So
Okay.
they're gonna have I don't know anything about it yet.
Yeah.
They're gonna have a booth
Okay.
at
Yeah.
Old Home Days to get some input on people on what they want on
Yeah.
the master plan, so.
Yeah.
So maybe the Deb thing is the best idea, if
Okay.
we set up with some literature.
I think so.
Yeah.
And wouldn't be bad, the one thing that, well, Deb said a lot of things that I listened to, but the one thing that really drove home for me is, she said we have lots of money. And obviously we
Yeah.
uncovered a need for some money
Yeah.
today, so maybe we can
Yeah.
get them involved in
Yeah.
financially in one of our projects, so.
And I do feel comfortable as
I don't know her, so
As,
I don't know these other committees, so.
yeah, Conservation Commission, if they're gonna have things there too, I'd feel comfortable, I think.
Okay.
I think she
Putting
said they
things.
weren't, that.
They weren't gonna be there.
Oh, they
so they're
weren't.
They were
offering
not,
one.
so,
And
Okay.
so they're gonna be a multi-booth,
Right,
She's gonna
multi-committee.
change
booth.
hats,
Right.
Yeah,
Yeah.
she was gonna do it.
Right.
Do you think that, the green team and that other, you mentioned what is it, conservation?
Conservation.
Would they be interested in, the signs and contributing to the signs, do you think?
I don't think any of these guys have any money, I'll be honest with
Yeah,
you, they're like
yeah,
us.
right.
Oh, are they?
Yeah, they don't have
Yeah.
any town funds, like Heritage has ZIP.
Yeah.
Really?
If Heritage wants to do something, they basically go back through the town manager's office and we see if we can get DPW funds,
Yeah.
but,
Jeez.
yeah,
Yeah.
there's no funding for those committees, so.
Yeah, and I think that with the green team, I think they're really pretty focused on plants and the plantings, and I think that that's, you know, where they're focused.
Our
on
signs
something.
are all taken care of, like Shady Hill and people like that.
Donations,
Yeah.
and labor donations.
Okay.
And they have a sign, like if Shady Hill does it, they have a sign that they provided for it,
Yes.
don't they?
Yeah, Shady Hill does too, I believe. Okay, so I'm gonna put that on my list to revise, and I will send that out to everyone.
So
And
are we gonna
we
have a
can-
meeting before that so you could hand out stuff and?
There isn't a meeting before that.
So we
but-
can
No,
do
we
that.
could,
That's
we could
yeah.
schedule
Yeah,
meetings
so we could
earlier.
schedule, we could
Schedule.
change our August meeting from, I think it's the 19th, I just saw. 19th.
The 12th? Is that Monday?
Yeah, so the 12th is the previous Monday.
The 12th?
So is everyone okay?
I think so. I'm a paper calendar girl, I'd have to check.
That's okay.
So do we have to put that in the, this meeting minutes, at next meeting
And then
is-
I will have to contact Kirsten, because she's already got them in the calendar.
Oh,
Okay.
So that just
Right,
needs to
okay.
change
Oh,
in the
I see.
town calendar, yeah.
Okay.
Alright, so next meeting.
Okay, I changed it.
so do you want us to call you Dr. Drew?
No. That's what my students call me that. I think I'm not calling that.
Oh.
It's, yeah. Some of them shorten it to DJ, actually.
Oh, really? DJ?
That's pretty cool.
Totally fine.
I like that, I like that.
Totally fine. It's pretty funny.
DJ. Oh, boy.
Yeah. Alrighty, folks, so I will take a motion to adjourn. No,
Prior,
no,
I'm sorry,
that's okay.
we failed to appoint, Beth for Laura.
Oh,
You gotta appoint Beth, so she can vote on the adjournment.
alright. Okay, so, so Beth, for voting purposes, I am appointing you to Laura, to vote in place of Laura Hajar,
Okay.
who is not here. Okay, thank you for doing that.
I'll keep you
I
official.
am, yeah, this is all new. All right, so can I have a motion for adjournment?
I make a motion that we adjourn and we meet again on August 12th.
Second.
John, second. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.